Rolling.
Okay. So this year marks 30 years that I've been actively involved in dreams, in the dream process. And I'm not talking about when I was a kid and my aunts and my grandmother were having prophetic dreams and warning us to be careful or encouraging us about something because of dreams. I'm talking about when I made a decision that I wanted to be actively involved in working with dreams. And back in '93, this was not something that the average person was doing, at least not with the people that I knew. But I was involved with a group of women, a women's support group, and the person who was running it, her name was Pat Allen. She encouraged us to bring in dreams, and I decided to do that because I had had really magical experiences when I was younger, and I let that go. And I noticed that the women in the support group, when they spoke about the issues they were dealing with, and then they shared a dream, the energy in the room would change. And the support that they received from the group and from Pat could be much more detailed. It was like we were allowed to see a part of their soul. And it helped to draw in more of whatever that is of the mystery and the magic that then kind of allows a surrender to something bigger than what you can imagine in yourself. Something greater would definitely come into the room, or we would be aware of it. It's already there. We would be more aware of that dimension. And it encouraged me and inspired me to start paying attention to my dreams again, and I started writing them down. I began to spend hours and hours using different books and sharing my dreams with people. And I noticed there was a lot more synchronicity in my life, a lot more of these unusual events that were exciting that I would talk about and share with people. And there came a point when my dreams said, okay, it's time for you to begin to do this as a profession. And I was afraid and a little skeptical, but I trusted my dreams, and believe me, I had so many amazing things happen that I could not trust it, and I began to work with people as a profession. And it was the first time in my life. Now I had about, 30 different things I did as a career potential. This is the only thing in my life that I have done at this level for this much an amount of time since something really important was happening about the dream world that it allowed me this opportunity with the dreams and in working with other people to see how this was a universal experience. There's a theory that we all dream. And what I've gotten to experience, I believe that is the case. Each one of us has access and has this guidance that comes to us in these stories and experiences that most of the time feel very real when they're happening. And when you can look back on whatever that story was, that experience was, especially if you're recording it, if you're writing it down, if you're sharing it with someone else, the benefits, the support, the guidance, the inspiration, all of that begins to become a part of this dimension. And my opportunity to get to work with so many people, thousands of dreams I've heard, I am very clear how valuable and important this could be in our world today with everything that's going on. We have a lot that's going on. And most of the major religions, many of the major religions, have stories about what happened when someone dreamed. It's thousands of years of experience that we carry in our DNA. Dreams are the access that we could use to help us to expand our awareness, our consciousness, our spirituality, our emotional availability with each other. I mean, there's so many ways that I can't think of a way where a dream wouldn't help. So I would like to be able to share some of these advantages or benefits, because this is something we all have access to. You don't need money, you don't need another person, although it's very helpful to get to share with other people. But this is something that you can do with yourself on your own. And one of the most important benefits is the empowerment. You know, that word is a word we use a lot these days. And I'm talking about where you find a power that is greater than yourself, that you have direct access to. And trust me, having other people's opinions, other people's ideas, other people's leadership, this doesn't take away from that. However, this is the foundation, I believe, that if each of us had a foundation where we know that we can tap into the access to the universe whenever we need it, what kind of world would we have if all of us experienced that and knew that? It just is mind-boggling to me how amazing our world could be. And some of these things that we're so accustomed to doing when we're afraid, when we're feeling threatened, particularly war, what if there's a whole other way to work out things that ends up being better for everybody involved? I believe this is possible when we have access to what is greater than ourselves, that can give us practical information, it can give us spiritual information, it can give us experiences that we're longing for that may not be available to us on this plane, and insight as to what could help it become available to us. So there's no words for what this really is. I'm doing my best to try to convey it to you, but the only way you would really know what I am talking about, how I am feeling, would be if you explored it for yourself. And I want to give you some reasons why that would be a good thing. I want to give you a little bit of a taste of the flavor and experience that can be added to your life when you're paying attention to your personal direct connection to spirit, to mystery, to, we don't even have to know what or why. We can access it right now. So evolution is a foundation, I believe, of what dreams can help us to build. When we were in a cave somewhere, terrified that these animals have direct access to us and we can't see them, we can't necessarily smell them, we are terrified. And I believe that's probably one of the reasons why we're afraid of the dark, is because there was so much that happened at nighttime and we didn't have access to be able to see or know. But if you were paying attention to your dreams, you could be warned and find someplace else to be. You could also have tools that could help the next time that was happening. I mean, imagine you're lying down, you're afraid, you fall asleep, and you see two sticks being rubbed together. Two pieces of trees, they're being rubbed together. And then you see these sparks, and all of a sudden, there's a flame. I wake up, let me go try that. You go outside, voila! How many things have been created to help us to grow, to expand, to evolve, that came through in a dream? Einstein is on the list of people who helped all of us collectively. E = mc squared. There's a story behind that. And there's some wonderful books out there to read that will explain more of what has occurred because and through dreams. And I look forward to sharing some of that with you. Thank you so much. Blessings.
It's great when you see